When it comes to shopping, I love to shop small, and supporting business owners who are also cowgirls is even better. High Call Outfitters, located in Great Bend, Kansas, is owned and operated by my mentor and cowgirl friend, Julie Miller. Being immersed in the Western lifestyle herself, Julie has a unique understanding of cowboy and cowgirl needs, both in and out of the arena. High Call's curated collection of apparel and footwear focuses on bringing fit, function, and fashion together so you can look and feel your best. From corporate cowgirl looks that will have everyone in the office asking, "Where did you get your outfit?" to rodeo ready attire that equips you with extra confidence as you back in the box to every occasion in between. You're sure to find something special for everyone on your list at High Call Outfitters. Visit their website at highcalloutfitters.com or stop by their beautiful brick and mortar location if you're ever traveling through Great Bend, Kansas. Remember, friend, High Call has it all.
Hey, y'all, and welcome. You're listening to the Cowgirl Confessions podcast. I'm your host, Dakota Dawn Johnson, small-town cowgirl with Southern roots, blazing a trail as a Midwest ranch wife, mama, and businesswoman. The mission of Cowgirl Confessions is to share the wonderfully wild and Western life stories of cowgirls from all walks of life. We'll talk about the highs, the lows, and everything in between when it comes to navigating careers, cowboys, kids, and cattle. Legendary cowgirl Dale Evans said it best. Cowgirl is a pioneer spirit, a special brand of American courage. The cowgirl faces life head on, lives by her own lights, and makes no excuses. Cowgirls take stands. They speak up. They defend the things they hold dear. A cowgirl might be a rancher, a barrel racer, a bull rider, or an actress, but she's just as likely to be a checker at the local Winn-Dixie, a full-time mother, a banker, an attorney, or an astronaut. If you're into wet saddle blankets, talks with God, buckets full of laughter, and the life lessons learned in the process, kick off your boots and settle in. I pray these stories encourage, empower, and give you just the leg up you need. Here's to embracing the cowgirl state of mind, no matter how wild and Western life may get along the way.
Welcome to another episode of the Cowgirl Confessions podcast. Today, you guys, we have a powerhouse cowgirl on the show. But what I think I love the most about her is that she is a powerhouse, all things business, but she is a God first, family second kind of woman. And while I've never had the privilege to meet Ursula Myers in person, I have been a longtime fan and followed her and her journey on social media. And so, like I said, bucket list moment, getting to have her on today and share parts of her story. So, Ursula, thank you for joining us.
I am so incredibly excited to be here. My gosh, this dream moment for you, dream moment for me. So I am so excited that we get to meet virtually, if anything, right? Definitely, we have to make it a point to meet in person one day. So thank you so much for having me. I'm very honored.
Yes, absolutely agree with you. We've got to make that happen. And I feel like I just missed you by a hair because you just got back from Dallas Market. And I think that's a perfect segue for us to just jump right in because you are so well versed in all things Western, but on the business side, a lot of people may be familiar right now is you are the owner of Casa. You have an incredible home goods line. So tell us more about that and just how that business venture came about.
So, I was in the Western industry for 15 years. We had a company called Ranch Royalty, Cowboy Honor, Sissy and Me. We had a permanent showroom in Denver and Dallas, all of the things. We actually sold that in 2015. So I kind of stepped away from the industry for a good while. And then when we started building our house, we moved in. We've been in it like a year and a half-ish. And so people just kept asking us, like, where did you find this? Oh my gosh, where did you find that? Right? As I was sharing the whole 2.5-year journey of building our dream home, people kept messaging me and asking me on social, where did you find all of the things? And we really realized that there was such a need for very unique Western furnishings and home decor, that there was just a need for that because it just seemed like everything we found was so cookie cutter. So we started just really searching out and finding stuff all over the US. And so when that started happening and people started asking us about it, and then it was a total God thing because then my husband got approached to design a rug line for a rug company. And that's when we thought, oh my gosh, why don't we turn our love of hacienda, ranch house, that whole look, that Western elegance look that we really, really love and that we were incorporating into our new home, why don't we turn that into something, right? So Costa Myers was born. And so we did end up doing the rug line, which you can find on our website. And so that inspired this whole transition into let's do this, right? And so I went back to market just this last week. And it was really cool going back after so many years of being out of the industry, kind of seeing what was out there, seeing what there was a need for, and honestly seeing what we could do. And so I came home, of course, full of ideas and all of the things that I thought, well, gosh, Levi, we need to do this and this and this, and there's not this, but we could do this kind of thing. And so we're super excited for a furniture launch that we have. And then we've got a lot of other ideas that we're working on. I really feel like our style is different. It's very old Mexico, hacienda, Texas ranch house. It's just a combination, if that even makes sense at all.
It makes total sense. Total sense. I'm like, that's me. That's what I want.
Yes. And girl, I'm telling you, it's just not out there, right? I don't want the stuff that's plastic. That's just not our look and feel. And so I really wanted stuff that spoke to us. And I can tell you, with as many people that message me, DM me, all of the things, asking me, hey, where'd you get this? Hey, would you help me decorate this bedroom? What would you do in this space? Right? I really feel like it's a need that is just not being met yet. So that's something we're working on. Yep.
So when can we expect the big relaunch? Because you shared on some of your Instagram stories, things you were picking out at Dallas Market. And I was like, oh, I'm going to add that to cart when it's ready. So when can we expect that to happen?
So the furniture launch will be happening, we hope, by the 1st of February. So we're finishing that up right now. All of the cool things that I found at Dallas Market, which I felt, we are very much if we wouldn't use it in our own home, we're not going to sell it. That's just kind of the way that we think. We're not out to make a quick buck. That's not what we want. We just want to share that unique design ideas that we have. And so we're going to start trickling it out as furniture should be February 1st. And then we're just going to start doing some stuff moving forward from there. We've got some bedding. We've got some really cool dinnerware coming. Like, we just got a lot of neat things. But I also definitely want to bring in, y'all, I am a flea girl. An absolute, like, that is my favorite thing to do, is go to vintage shops and that kind of stuff. So we're actually going to be incorporating some of that too. So it's not all new. It's actually going to be a great mix of vintage pieces mixed in with new pieces that just have that feel that we love.
Oh, you are speaking my language. And that's one of the other things that I felt so connected to you and your style with is because you have shared before on social media when you go to Round Top, Texas, and just the really cool finds that you get there. And I was like, so I love that style. And let's go to social media for a minute, Ursula, because that is something that I really admire about you, is how you consistently show up. You're adding value, whether it's showing your home build or showing outfits you put together. So talk to me and give us some tips maybe on how you actually stay consistent at that, because it's tough.
It really is. And I kind of had a big aha moment at the beginning of the year, because I really felt like I was showing up two different ways on social. And it's hard to show up one way on social, right? Instead of two different ways. And so, what I decided at the beginning of the year was just to be, not that I wasn't being authentic, because I was, but I was showing up on one of my platforms as, this is me. I'm a junker. I love vintage things. I love Western fashion. I love home decor. I love sharing my home and all of those things. But then on my other social, I was actually showing up as the other person who I am, which is an affiliate marketer who is a top leader in the industry. I have won all these awards and all these things for that. So I decided, this year I'm just going to be me across the board. I'm just going to be me and just show who I am in every facet. And I think that's one thing that people are so afraid of doing, is they think, well, gosh, I can't show this part of myself because so-and-so might not like it, or I can't show that because I might offend somebody because they don't like this, that, or the other. And you know what? I think that is the first thing from the truth. It is 2024, y'all. Show up as yourself, and the right people are going to find you. That was a decision that I made at the beginning of this year. Work smarter, not harder. Instead of trying to fit into these different things, I think it's time that we, as women in ag, as cowgirls and ranch wives and farm wives and all of this, we have to understand that you can be all of the things. You can make an incredible amount of money in affiliate marketing or whatever it is that you do, right? You can still be a ranch wife. You can still rope and ride and do all of those things. And I feel like for me, I was trying to pigeonhole myself into two different areas to where I just want to find like-minded people who love the Lord like I do, people who love family, people who love Western home decor and fashion, people who love well-mannered kids that say yes sir or no sir. Like those are my kind of people. And that's what I'm really going after this year, is just really connecting with people on that level, instead of, hey, let me show you who I am here, but over here, I'm this other person, right? So I just decided to show all of it and all my glory. And I really feel like the right people are going to come along. We're going to make connections. We're going to become friends. We're going to become supporters. Because in this day and age, Lord knows we need more supportive women supporting each other, right? There's so much value in community and being able to build a community of like-minded women who are just incredibly supportive. And I feel like that's really the tribe that I'm looking for, is how do I support you in whatever it is that you're doing? And hopefully in turn, you're going to support me too. Like there's so many good things happening in the Western industry right now. And so many influencers, if you will, not that I call myself an influencer. I'm just sharing all my shenanigans and people are just crazy enough to follow along with it. Right. But I feel like I just really wanted to find my tribe this year and just really let the real me in every aspect show up, all the things. So yeah.
That is so refreshing to hear. And I feel like for any of us that sometimes like have felt the need to have, not that we need permission, but there had been such this idea in social media that you got to niche down, like you got to be one thing. And I'm very similar to you. Like I wear a lot of hats. I'm not one thing. And I'm very multifaceted and multi-passionate. So it's just refreshing to hear someone like you that I admire, look up to, that is very successful in these different areas, that is taking that and like owning it. So thank you for sharing that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? I think at this day and age, we just need to support each other. And no matter what it is, the world is a crazy place right now. And if we as women are not supporting each other, then what are we doing? Right? Like what's going on here? So
yeah, couldn't agree with you more, Ursula. And when you mentioned on one of your socials, you were showing up as like the affiliate marketing coach. And I would love for us to dive into that, because that's one of the things as well that I've been drawn to with you, because I'm like, this woman knows sales. She knows how to serve people. And you've been inducted into the $1 Million Hall of Fame even. Like, I just think that's incredible and would love for you to share more about that journey and really what led you to success there.
So I appreciate you asking that. So it has been 8.5 years that I've been in the industry. I was a boutique owner for 15 years. I loved that. I'm just a serial entrepreneur at heart. I could never work for anybody else. That's just because I'm too much of a control freak, probably. And so I was looking for a way to stay home with my little one and replace that boutique income. I loved that industry, but it is a hard industry. If you're in the boutique world, right? And so I was looking for a way to replace that income. And so when I found affiliate marketing, and honestly, I looked at it for 8 months and said, that's not me. I could never do that. Oh, I'm not going to be that girl. When in reality, I already was that girl. I was sharing outfits that I loved. People were buying the outfit. I was helping them feel good about themselves. The only difference about doing affiliate marketing this way is the fact that you're helping people feel good from the inside out. I happen to be the face of a big global company that's 30 years old. We just made a big move a couple of months ago. And so they actually brought me in to be the face for North America. So that's really exciting because I'm getting to build everything the way that I want it. And kind of those opportunities really just do not happen. So again, another huge God thing for sure. But what I love about affiliate marketing, and what I think people need to understand, is we're all doing affiliate marketing. Like everybody's doing affiliate marketing. If you have ever shared an outfit that you got from a boutique and you shared it on your socials and you sent people to that boutique, that's affiliate marketing. What it is it's sharing a product or service that you love. Somebody uses that link, and some people get paid if you have an affiliate link, right? And some people don't, if they don't have that link, but they still sent somebody over to that boutique to buy. Well, what I figured out was how to make an incredible amount of money by just sharing a product that I love And that's helping people feel good from the inside out. And so when I figured that out and saw that it was the same exact thing that I was doing in the boutique world, after a couple of months of starting 8.5 years ago, I saw how big it was going to be. I saw the potential that was there. And I knew that if I just focused my attention to it, I honestly could do really well. And what we ended up doing was building the fastest growing team in company history. We broke every single record, fastest to $1 million in earnings, 2 million, all the things. And so at this point, here we are 8.5 years later, I've earned almost 7 million. And I'm not saying that to brag by any means. I just want to show people the possibility of what you could do. Y'all, this is, if you follow me on social, you see all the things, right? You see how crazy my life is and really what a hot mess I am. If somebody like me can make that kind of money just by helping others do the things that I do, y'all, there's no telling what anybody could do. So what I love about affiliate marketing, it is the most even playing field. And what I mean by that is the fact that it doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter what your last name is. It doesn't matter who your daddy is. It doesn't matter how you grew up. Y'all, this is a little house I grew up in right here. And I would tell you that story, but it might take a hot minute. But y'all, I came from nothing, like nothing. My parents loved us beyond measure. And what they do was they taught us how to work hard. And I took that work ethic that they instilled in me. That's how I built my boutique business. That's how we built the wholesale companies and all the things we did there, which is exactly what I use that same work ethic to build something phenomenal here in the affiliate marketing space. And, to me, that's why it's so intertwined with ranch wives and people in ag, because we don't know anything different than hard work, right? Like that is the backbone of our society, if you will. And the people that we would say are in the ag industry is the fact is we all know how to work hard. To me, this is just working smarter, right? Not harder, smarter, not harder. But what it's allowed us to do is it actually allowed us to go from working on someone else's ranch, living in their ranch house, tending to their cattle, to us buying our own ranch and building our dream ranch house and living this really big, grand life, all because I was willing to say, hey, I don't know what this is, but tell me more about it. How does it work? And when I really found out the true information and what you could really do here and how it's simply just sharing the link to something that you have, which is what I was already doing, I was all in, went to running, and here we are.
So many things there, Ursula, that I'd love for us to unpack, because one of the things that people, when they hear affiliate marketing or they think about sales, they love the idea of the freedom and flexibility that can bring. I mean, don't we all? But then there's the but. It's like, but I don't want to be too salesy, but I don't want to make the cold calls, all the things. So share with us just what you say to the but. What you say to help the people understand, like, we're serving people. You're not selling offers that you don't believe in. It's about finding something that you believe in and serving.
Absolutely, 100%. What it is no different than somebody saying, look at my latest Amazon find, shop the link in my bio for my Amazon store. It's the same exact concept as somebody saying, look at my newest dress that I just got from such and such boutique. Use my code SusieQ10 for 10% off, right? That's the same thing. They're both affiliate links. The only difference is the fact that we are using a different vehicle in that it's a health and wellness company that actually fixes your health on a cellular level. That's what the company that I use, right? And so when you realize that it's the same thing, you kind of you get over yourself, if that makes any sense. And that's exactly what I had to do, because I honestly thought I was too good for this industry, as painful as that is now for me to say. I really thought I was too good for affiliate marketing. I'm like, oh, I could never be that girl. Like, I'm a boutique owner, right? That was my whole mess in my head. But when I realized you're just still helping people, you're helping them in a different way, right? And the income potential is so much greater. Because let's say that you do have an affiliate link to such and such boutique, and it's whatever it is, you're sending people over there to buy. Well, that's great. You're going to make money off of that one-time purchase. Here's the kicker about the way that I do affiliate marketing is the fact that you're going to make passive and residual income. That's what makes millionaires, right? So imagine somebody using your link to buy a product one time, but then they continue to buy that product for the next 10 years, which is the company that I'm with. That's the retention rate of our customers. So you sell it one time, you don't sell it. They use your link to buy it, right? They love the product. They fall in love with the product. and they continue to buy it for the next 10 years every single month. Well, guess what happens? You get paid for the next 10 years every single month. I mean, tell me that isn't like the most genius business model ever, right? So passive income, residual income is money that you don't have to go work to earn. It's money that's going to continue to come in day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year. That's what we're all after. And if we're not, you're crazy. And so when I realized the business model of affiliate marketing and how it really fit into our lifestyle, and what I wanted was time freedom. That was the biggest thing. The wealth, don't get me wrong, it is phenomenal, but wealth gives you time freedom. And that's what everybody's after. You know, you go to a team roping, you're getting paid. You go to a kid's ball game, you're getting paid. You're on vacation, you're getting paid. When you realize that there's jobs that will actually pay you as you just live your life because you've set it up that way, why would anyone ever want to punch a clock for a 9 to 5 and have a boss breathing over their neck telling them what to do? Like, that ain't me. That might be for some people, but that's not the life that I wanted. I wanted to be able to take Silver to rodeos and play days and ball games and go with Levi to a team roping or whatever. Go to Round Top, like you mentioned, right? I've already got my place booked. I'm super excited where I'm staying this time. We're making it a whole girls trip. Y'all, I'll be gone for 5 days and get paid while I'm gone shopping. Like, if that's not the American dream, I don't know what is.
I'm going to Round Top too. I'm just like, yes, yes, yes to all the things. So we're going to have to see if we're going to be in Round Top together at the same time,
Yes.
because I would love to connect and shop with you while we're there.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I get it. The idea of securing sponsorships can feel overwhelming. You're only one person, and this isn't your full-time gig. Having to ask someone to give you money, a product, or service in trade for promotion might run a close race to that same feeling of throwing your leg over a fresh colt. Visions of an unpredictable ride and possibly getting yard darted feel very real and oh so uncomfortable. Nowadays, I get giddy at the opportunity to talk shop about the art of selling and sponsorship opportunities. However, this hasn't always been the case. I've wished many times over the years that I had a roadmap for navigating sponsorships and the challenges that can arise when communication isn't clear for all parties involved. That's one of the main reasons why I felt compelled to create the Kickstart Guide to Securing and Retaining Sponsorships. In this guide, you're going to learn my exact framework and strategies for securing and retaining sponsorships. Think of this guide as a roadmap that will help you get to your next sponsorship destination. Much like our personal journeys in life, each individual sponsorship journey will vary, and the road trip will look different based on where we're trying to go. There's a lot of information out there today, and it can be overwhelming to know which direction to take. While Google Maps in Surrey might lead you astray, this sponsorship roadmap won't. The sales strategies I teach throughout this guide are like Rand McNally, proven, tried, and true. You can find the Kickstart Guide to Securing and Retaining Sponsorships at dakotadonjohnson.com. So, Ursula, what advice would you have for someone that, let's say, they're sold on affiliate marketing? They're like chomping at the bit. Let's go do this. I've got the skill set, but they're like, how do I choose? Because there's so many affiliate marketing companies. So what advice do you have on finding something that you want to stick with and you're not jumping around?
You know what? I really feel like affiliate marketing, you have to have the right mentor. If you've got the right mentor that is helping you through the process, you're going to be able to make a lot more money faster because they're basically giving you their roadmap of what they've done, their roadmap to success, which is exactly what I do. You know, there's no reason to go recreate the wheel. Make sure that you align yourself with somebody who has the same morals and ethics that you do, right? Obviously, because this is somebody you're going to be working with hand in hand, but make sure that they are successful. Make sure that they have seen success. Make sure that they have done the things that you want to do. And by doing that, what you're going to do is you're actually just going to fast track yourself into creating a business that's going to pay you a lot sooner and a lot better. That would be my advice, is make sure that whoever you align yourself with, they're your kind of people, right? For example, I am a no drama, love everybody, all of those things. Like, I really am trying to, I'll be real honest, y'all. I'm trying to get to heaven. and I am trying to be God's disciple, and that's how I live my life. So make sure that the people that you align yourself with have those same morals and ethics that you do, because this is somebody that you're going to have to be working with, and make sure that that's who you want to be under, if you will. That would be my biggest advice, is make sure that whoever you align yourself with is the person that somebody that you respect, somebody that you admire, but honestly, somebody that has built whatever you think you want to build for yourself, whatever life you want to build for yourself, whatever kind of business you want to build for yourself. Make sure that you align yourself with those kinds of people, because they're going to have that roadmap to success, which is 1,000% going to make it so much easier for you on your journey too.
I love that thought process of, focus on finding that mentor, that leader first, and then focus on the what, what you're going to sell, the opportunity you're going to sell. That is so valuable, Ursula. Okay. I'm like, all the things, and I want to be mindful of your time. So
You're good.
As far as leadership,
Mm-hmm.
you ran the boutique before, you've
Mm-hmm.
grown the successful business. What tips do you have for us on leadership and really mentors that you look to?
You know what? Leadership for me always starts with leadership of self. I am very big on principle-centered leadership. It always starts with leadership of self, right? And what that means is like, what are you willing to do? We all know social media is crazy. You've got the algorithms. You're liked one week, you're not liked the next week. Like you're going viral one week, the next week you don't get any views. And so it's all about realizing that whatever you want to do in life, everybody's putting their highlight reel on social, right? Everybody's putting their highlight reel on social, unless you're me and I'm showing myself in pajamas, folding blankets from the night before and fixing my couch the other day, because that's just me, right? But make sure that as you are going through your journey in life, not just in just life, period, it's leadership of self. And you have to make sure that your heart is right and your mind is right. My biggest thing is I do not want to get to heaven and God say, stop me at the pearly gates and say, I'd let you in, but you did this, or you treated her this way, or you talked ill about this person, or any of those things. And I feel like that's where leadership of self comes in. Like, are we treating others with respect and with love like God would want us to? Are we leading a godly life? And at the end of the day, are you trying to build your kingdom, or are you trying to build God's kingdom? It's real easy to want to do all of these things and become these people, because we see people on social media who represent different things. Just make sure the circle that you're running with and the people that you surround yourself with are the people that are trying just as hard as you are to get to heaven. That's the thing that matters to me the most, right? So leadership of self is always the first and foremost thing in my mind, because we can't control anybody else's actions. All we can do is control ourselves. And for me, that's something that I work really hard on, because it's a hard world out there, y'all. It's a hard old world. And if you do not have your heart and mind right first, you can let all the stuff get to you and all the things on social. And then we start the comparison game. And oh my gosh, I wish I had her life. I wish I had her life. When we have to realize, as long as we're trying to live right for ourselves and we're doing the very best that we can do for ourselves, everything else is going to fall into place. And I've talked a lot about God, but that's because that's just this real journey that I'm on. I've always been big on faith. I was raised in the Catholic Church. I got rebaptized as a Baptist probably, I don't know, like 10, 12 years ago. And so I went on my walk to Emmaus, which I don't know if you've ever heard of, but if you haven't, sister, I need to hook you up with this. So I went on my walk to Emmaus last fall, and it really honestly changed my life 1,000%. I realized the person that I was really trying to be was not who God wanted me to be, even though I was walking in faith and doing all of those things. But it really made me look at, who am I? And am I showing up as my very best every single day? And not all of us do, right? Because this is just life's journey. This is just the way that it is. But when I went on that walk to Emmaus, I realized that there were so many more things that I could have been doing that I wasn't doing. And I wasn't the person that God wanted me to be. And so I made some incredibly drastic changes that shocked a lot of people. But you know what? Walking in faith is not always easy, right? It's not. It's the hardest thing we will ever do. Walking in faith, knowing that you're following the path that God has put before you, that's been the hardest thing I've ever done, but it's been the most rewarding thing. So make sure with that leadership of self, you are setting yourself up for success every day. Like, y'all, the first thing we want to do seems like is grab our phones and go look on social and see who's doing what with who. But what if you made the first step of your day to actually grab your devotional or grab your Bible, say your prayers, set your mind right, leadership of self, set your mind right, your heart right before you started your day. I promise you, just those simple steps of leadership of self are really going to change the way that you run your day and the way that your day runs you. So,
so much good stuff there, Ursula. And really a perfect segue into what I've wanted to ask you. You started earlier saying, talking a little bit about your childhood and your roots, where you came from. And so I can see a lot of that just it's carried over some of the things from your childhood into even to the design in your business, some of that core style and just your overall work ethic. So what do you think 8-year-old Ursula would say to you today, looking at where you're at, knowing where you came from? What do you think she'd say?
Oh my gosh, that's such a good question. I think the 8-year-old me, gosh, that gets me emotional. I think the 8-year-old me would be proud of who I became. That's really what I think. I was a shy kid. I was bullied in school. I didn't have just a whole lot of friends. We dang sure didn't have any money. I wasn't dressed in the coolest clothes. I wasn't doing I wasn't a cool kid. I was not the cool kid in school. I was the last pick for sports. I mean, you name it, that was me. Like, that was me. I was the poster child for that. I think the 8-year-old me would look at me now and say, you know what? You did good. Like, you did good. You set out to build this big life and you did it, right? You did it, even though, like, I'm a big person that says in spite of, because people always want to use, well, I grew up this way, or my parents didn't do this, or whatever. We've all got a past. Like, every single one of us has a past, right? There's all things that just happened, but it's what you do in spite of those things and the life that you build. I think that's where you see exceptional people just really rise to the top. And you see those people who have created these big lives in spite of how they started out. And I think, to me, that would probably be the biggest thing. Like, I always knew, this is crazy. So you're going to think I'm crazy when I say this, because when I say it, it sounds crazy to me, but it's the honest to goodness truth. Like, I always knew that God had big plans for my life. I just didn't know what they were. But when I started really just working in faith years and years ago with the boutique, which I started from my kitchen table at the Bell Ranch in New Mexico, started that by building jewelry, started that company because I wanted something for me and my oldest daughter to do together. She was 9 years old at the time, and built that into a multi-million-dollar business that we eventually sold. It's that faith in God has big plans for me. I have to go out and make it happen, because I am a firm believer that you've got to have the work ethic, right? You've got to have the work ethic. And that's really from what my parents instilled in me. Is out of us 5 kids, I mean, they have 5 successful children. And y'all, we grew up in a house with no bathroom. I grew up taking a bath in a metal wash tub. I slept with my older sister till I was in junior high. All 5 of us kids slept in one teeny tiny bedroom. And so for all 5 of us to have built these really big lives in spite of, that to me is the testament of what my parents instilled in us, which was, you can become anything you want to be in life as long as you are willing to go work to make it happen. So for me, I think that would be the biggest thing, is that I took everything that my parents taught us and I went and built the life that I wanted to. I went and built my dream life. So I would think she would be proud.
Oh, without a doubt. And that is such a beautiful answer. And you have me tearing up over here. So it was just so genuine and heartfelt. And I would expect nothing less from you. We're going to wrap up with our final question, the way we like to end every episode here. And I would love to hear in your words, Ursula, what does the Cowgirl state of mind mean to you?
You know what? Cowgirl state of mind to me is, honestly, it's how you live your life. To me, I feel like that is, we respect others, we believe in God, we support the flag, we stand up and salute the flag. To me, that's what it is. It's all of those things encompassed into one. It's the fact that we know that God had us all here together for this bigger purpose in life, but that we're patriotic, God-fearing people who honestly just want to do good in life. To me, I think that just is all of us, right? All of us that are kind of in this industry, if you will, or way of life. People always say, people that don't live this lifestyle are like, oh my gosh, it's so romantic. It just looks so cool. And it's probably the furthest thing from romantic, but I could never see myself living any other way. I grew up on a ranch in the middle of nowhere. As you know, now that I said a minute ago, we bought our own ranch, and that's how we're raising Silver. That's how my oldest daughter and my son were raised, and they still to this day live this lifestyle. There's no better way to raise your children than to love God, love your country, to respect others, to treat them with kindness, to make sure that you are doing everything that you can to be the kind of person that God wants you to be. And at the end of the day, what more could you ask for?
That'll preach, sister. And that's a Cowgirl confession that I'm going to be replaying over and over again. And I know so many of our listeners will do the same. Ursula, this has been phenomenal. It truly has. And I would just love for you to tell all of our listeners where they can connect with you and stay up to date on what's going on and when they can get the goods that are going to be relaunched soon.
Perfect. So you can find me personally on Facebook, just Ursula Myers. It's URSULAMYERS. On Instagram, I am Ursula's Trail of Turquoise. And then on TikTok, it's Urs Myers. And then for Casa de Myers, it's just CASADEMYERS. You can find us on our website. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. Super excited for all of the things that we have coming. My husband, he is a phenomenal Western artist, and that's where his designs, the majority of our designs come from. He's crazy good at what he does. And so we have incorporated that into our rug designs, into the sweatshirts and the tees that we do. Him and I work really well together. We're just a great team. And I love the fact that we're getting to bring our hacienda ranch house style and our way of life to everybody. Go get your shop on casademyers.com.
That's perfect. Ursula, thank you so much. This has just been such a blessing, and look forward to visiting more with you soon.
Thank you for spending your time with me on the Cowgirl Confessions podcast. I'm so glad y'all stopped by. If you could take a moment to share this episode and tag us on social media, I'd be happier than a cowgirl in a sea of buy one, get one vintage turquoise. Subscribe to make sure you don't miss an episode. New episodes will be released bi-monthly. Please leave us a review if you feel so led by going to iTunes. Your feedback will really help us breed the idea of grabbing life by the horns with a cowgirl state of mind into women across the globe. Some that may have never even had the privilege to throw their leg over a horse, but could most certainly use the cowgirl state of mind while navigating life. Thanks again, y'all. Until next time, keep pursuing your dreams with that all go and no woe mentality. Remember, you're writing a story that's worth saddling up for, sister.